When many think of World War II, they think of a war that took place on land, in the air, and in the sea. However, there was much that took place under the sea as well, by submarine. And on this week's episode, we're visiting one of the few warships that battled underwater and lived to tell its story. We're talking about the USS Drum, located at the Battleship Alabama Memorial Park in Mobile, Alabama, on this exciting episode of History and Relics. The USS Drum, SS-228, is a Gatto-class submarine built for the United States Navy. The Gatto class of subs was the first mass-produced U.S. submarine class of World War II. It was common for the U.S. submarines to be named after fish. The drum refers to any of the various fish capable of making a drumming noise. The best known is the large sea bass off the North Atlantic coast. The drum was laid down on September 11, 1940, at Portsmouth Naval Shipyard in Kittery, Maine. She was launched on May 12, 1941, and was commissioned on November 1st, just a little over a month before the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. The drum was the 12th Gatto class, but the first completed, and the first to enter combat in World War II. And today, she is the oldest of her class still in existence. Here's a quick rundown of just some of the stats on the USS Drum. Pretty impressive. The Drum arrived at Pearl Harbor on April 1, 1942, and after a voyage to Midway, departed Pearl Harbor on April 14th on her first war patrol. Cruising off the coast of Japan, she sank the Japanese seaplane carrier Mizuho on May 2nd, and afterwards endured a 16-hour depth charge attack consisting of 31 depth charges. Later that month, she sank 3 cargo ships before returning to Pearl Harbor on June 12th to refit. For her efforts, the crew were awarded the Submarine Combat Patrol insignia. And speaking of insignias, do you know who created the insignia for the USS Drum? Well, it was Walt Disney himself. Walt Disney Studios designed many unique emblems for military units throughout the United States Armed Forces during World War II. The Drum made 13 war patrols in World War II, 9 of which were deemed successful. Every submariner on board for each successful patrol earned their submarine combat insignia pin, or else earned another star for their insignia pin. The Drum earned 12 battle stars for her service in World War II, and she's credited for sinking a total of 15 ships, or 80,580 tons of enemy shipping. The Drum was decommissioned on February 16, 1946, and on March 18, 1947, began service at Washington, D.C. to members of the Naval Reserve in the Potomac River Naval Command, which continued through 1967. She was then in the inactive fleet at Norfolk, Virginia from 1967 to 1969. The Drum was donated to the USS Alabama Battleship Commission on April 14, 1969. She was towed to the Battleship Alabama Memorial Park in Mobile, arriving on May 18th. The Drum was dedicated and opened to the public on July 4th of that year and later declared a National Historic Landmark in 1986. It's quite a fitting place for both to be at the Battleship Alabama Memorial Park, since during their wartime duty, they were both at the island of Majuro in the South Pacific in June 1944, being refitted for continued combat. It's the only known time that both ships were in proximity to one another during the war. The Drum was secured in the waters behind the USS Alabama until she was substantially damaged by the storm surge of Hurricane George in 1998. Beginning in the early summer of 2001, the drum was moved from the Gulf of Mexico beside the USS Alabama battleship and placed on dry land on a permanent fixture beside the newly constructed aircraft pavilion. And this is where you can find her today. The drum has continued restoration and preservation initiatives in the last few years, which has resulted in her retaining her beauty and magnificence for all to enjoy and honor. We recently paid a visit to this war hero and would love to take you on a tour around and inside this great ship. So let's explore. And be sure to check out the other video we did featuring the battleship USS Alabama and its ties to Baseball Hall of Famer Bob Feller, who once served aboard that ship. Hey, and be sure to check out our eBay store under ID History and Relics. We're now featuring channel merchandise, starting with our new logo magnet. They're only $5.50 and net proceeds go towards supporting our channel. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed our program. If you like our content, we ask that you give us a thumbs up, a like, share with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so you always know when our new content is published. And all of this costs nothing, but means a lot to us and keeps us growing. You may also leave us a tip if you choose. The address is provided here on your screen, and a link is provided in the description area below. So until next time, everyone, this one is history.